Back in the 2019 playoffs, the Milwaukee Bucks were putting on a defensive run for the ages. In round 1, they cruised through Detroit in 4 easy games, while holding them to an abysmal 97.5 points every 100 possessions, more than 12 points worse than their average over the season. Next up were Kyrie Irving, the Young Jays, and the Boston Celtics, and this matchup was more of the same. This time they lost game 1, but dominated the series from there on out to send them home in 5, holding them to more than 11 points below their average offensive rating. And this trend only continued through 2 games of the conference finals, winning by an average differential of 15 points as they held the Raptors to about 14 points below their usual offense. That's 11 games, where the Bucks held their opponent to an average offensive rating 12.2 points worse than what they typically put up, which throughout all of NBA history would rank second among playoff teams with at least 10 games. That is, until they quickly found out that sustaining this sort of defensive brilliance against Kawhi Leonard on a mission was probably a bit easier said than done, and in Game 5, with a chance to go up 3-2 on their home court, they were left with no answer. Kawhi was able to penetrate this Milwaukee defense seemingly at will, using a few hesitations off a screen to get Giannis on his hip before using his length to just split right between him and Middleton on his way to the cup for 2 plus the foul. There are just so many ways for him to get to the rim, this time as an initiator using the space he's given to build up some steam going at the middle with his broad shoulder carving out a path, and going vertical off of 2 feet to finish over the top of Brook Lopez down low. From a standstill, Middleton overplays the right-hand drive, so Kawhi quickly jabs and blows right by him going left, where nobody comes to meet him as he trots his way in close for a pair of free throws. And here's a real similar one, Middleton protecting the right side as he sort of funnels Kawhi to the middle, and Brogdon's forced to foul as he just has no chance of stopping him. What this constant rim pressure does is not only creates easy layups and free throws, but also pulls in the defense to create for others. As Kawhi breaks his man down in isolation, he takes those 2 extra steps into the middle of the paint to bring Mirotic in with him, leaving Norman Powell on an island as he steps right into a warm-up triple. Now, many of these reads are real basic, getting the step on his man and drawing the attention of a helper 1 pass away, which results in easy offense on the perimeter. With Lopez switched onto him, there's a huge speed advantage, easily getting deep into the paint, which forces Bledsoe to slide down, leaving nobody to close out on a wide open Fred VanVleet. I also want to note how vital VanVleet's movement without the ball was here. If he had stayed in the corner, this is a much shorter rotation for Bledsoe to make, and you'll notice that his first instinct as a defender is to actually close out to where Fred was originally spotted up. Just that slight lift above the break makes all the difference. Kawhi also made some pretty advanced reads as a playmaker. Milwaukee's almost in a sort of zone here, as all 4 off-ball guys are gapping to wall off the paint, but that doesn't stop him from easily getting by Bledsoe and firing a bullet to Siakam in the corner, as his 3-point shot just comes up short. This time he rejects screening action and drives right to get around Middleton, and Giannis slides down from the corner to stop the ball, while George Hill rotates from the weak side to offer another line of defense protecting the rim. Despite being off balance, Kawhi takes that extra step to gather his footing and hit VanVleet right in the shooting pocket for 3 more points on the board. This was probably his most impressive find of the night. Giannis rotates down from the wing to defend the paint, while Lopez goes completely vertical to wall off any routine angle at either a layup or pass. So Kawhi leaves his feet to create a new angle over the top and uses his outstretched arm to get it to Gasol, where a quick extra pass leaves Norman Powell with a great look from 3 that just rims out. Here's a real similar play where Kawhi comes off a screen and is met with Lopez in deep drop coverage, with Giannis again sliding down from the wing to tag Siakam on the roll. If he were to make the pass right here, Giannis is quick enough to recover on a closeout while containing Gasol. No advantage created, but by taking a couple extra dribbles and probing across the lane, now there's just too much ground to properly recover, hitting the big man as he steps into an effortless jumper. It wasn't just passing opportunities that this driving threat helped open up. As Middleton again looks to funnel him into the middle of the floor, Giannis quickly comes up to close off the paint. But to Kawhi, that's just an automatic pull-up jumper. He's one of the best mid-range scorers in NBA history, and will just torch anyone who gives him that space, leveraging the threat of a baseline drive with a hesitation that he throws straight into a crossover to set up that beautiful jumper. With his game inside the arc posing the biggest threat, he's also really good from 3. Off a screen, Giannis switches onto him, but because he doesn't jump out to the line, Kawhi just uses that space to pull up from deep. Here's another one where he uses a screen to hunt for the switch onto a bigger player, and because Lopez has to drop back to protect the lane from those drives, Kawhi's able to create enough separation to comfortably pour in 3 more. And here's the exact same thing once more, taking the first step as if looking to attack the middle before quickly stepping back beyond the arc for a huge shot over the outstretched arm of the big man. As good as he is off the dribble, it's actually off the catch where Kawhi's most effective from 3. He's comfortable from every spot on the floor, great at setting his feet off of movement or when relocating, and has a pretty quick trigger that allows him to beat closeouts, knocking down just under 42% of his catch and shoot threes from 2017 to 2019. He's also a really quick decision maker off the catch. As Middleton closes out, he puts it down for another one of those drives turned step back that almost sends his man to the floor, although he just misses on the highlight opportunity. As Lowry drives and kicks it out to Kawhi on the wing, Hill's forced to rotate up, and a sharp extra pass leaves Powell all alone in the corner, for another great look that doesn't fall. And that was a pretty big part to the story of this game. Non-Kawhi Raptors shot 20 of 59 from the field, less than 34%. But that didn't stop the Claw from recording 35 points and 9 assists on 60% true shooting, while only turning the ball over once. Just absurdly efficient shot creation as he carried Toronto's offense against an all-time defensive unit on the road. And he did this while also playing some pretty good defense himself. He was the primary defender on Giannis, and while the Raptors did shrink the floor with their off-ball aggression, that still required Kawhi keeping the ball in front, holding his ground, and using his length to prevent him from going over the top. Giannis first looks to attack right, but gets cut off, so he spins left, and there's no angle to attack there either, instead falling back on a one-legged jumper that Kawhi completely smothers. The Bucks also used Giannis as a screener, to which Kawhi succeeded in multiple different coverages, dropping back to protect the paint from a drive, and getting back in front of the roll to force a turnover with those unrivaled hands. Here it is again, except this time he switches onto the ball, and does an amazing job of moving laterally to stick with Brogdon as he takes away another opportunity to score at the rim. Kawhi's two-way play throughout not just this game, but the run as a whole was truly impressive. The Raptors would of course go on to close this series on their home floor in Game 6 before facing off with the Golden State Warriors and securing the only championship in their franchise's history, forever etching Kawhi's name as one of Toronto's greatest. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn my post notifications on to be first on more content. If you're interested in my more in-depth research, make sure to check out my website and social media profiles. You can find those links in the description. Feel free to let me know down in the comments what you thought of this run from Kawhi and the Raptors. As always, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.